How's it going, YouTube? Today I'm going to be installing RV6 PCDs pre-cat deletes on my 2010 Acura TL SH all-wheel drive with the 6-speed manual transmission. This is everything that came in a box from RV6. I did end up ordering it through endlessrpm.com. Great turnaround time. I ordered them yesterday and they arrived today. In the box, it came with a license plate bracket, this bag of goodies with, I believe, all the hardware, which, as it says here, make sure everything's in there. I'll have to double check, verify. Came with the front PCD and the rear PCD. And on the car itself, I have already pulled off the original PCDs. It is very easy. The front one's the easiest, the back one's a little bit harder. What you do is you go ahead and remove, there's a bracket right here. You remove that bracket. You remove the coil pack, the middle one. You go ahead and disconnect and remove this front fan, as well as the reservoir, which as you can see I have in place right there. And from the bottom, you go ahead and, oh, one more thing. You do remove the EGR line, which is here. It's easier to remove it from the EGR itself than it is from the bottom of the cat. And then from the bottom, you just have to remove the splash guard and 3 bolts for the J-pipe. For the back one, this one's a little bit tougher. On the book, it tells you to remove it from the bottom. I do have an all-wheel drive model, so I would have to remove passenger side axle with intermediate shaft and stuff like that, which I don't want to mess with any of that. So what I saw guys from 8th gen Accords do is remove it from the top. So I went ahead and did the same thing. It was a little tricky. I did have to disassemble the cat. I had to pull off the heat shields, which was kind of tight. And I also had to remove a heat shield in the back. This one right here. It's in the back, protecting the electronic power steering. As you can tell, it's a bolt right here where my pinky is, one by my thumb, and one right here. All 10mm bolts. You loosen those two up and you remove that one completely. You're able to slide this bracket up through the top. Once you've done all that, you're able to finagle the PCD through up here. I would recommend, if you can, remove this. It makes it a lot easier. But you can force it through here. Took a little bit of muscle, trying not to scratch anything, but I did end up, as you can tell, I damaged this right here and this. But that's me being impatient, trying to hurry up. I will touch it up with some paint, and as well as you all know, if you have a TL, this is all covered with that plastic trim. So now I'm going to go ahead and install them. Another thing I forgot to mention, guys, for the back, I actually did go ahead and remove, let me see if I can turn on the light. Pretty much done installing, but just so you guys can see, I did remove the center coil pack, as well as the second one. Oh, the first one closest to the engine, to the driver's side, excuse me, and the one in the center, as well as there's a bracket right here. I believe it's a little heat shield bracket. I removed that in order to be able to pull out the stock cat. You can see I already have the RV6 one in here. I just have to mount the O2 sensor and plug it in. It goes right there. And tighten everything up. I'm pretty much done. The front, I installed it as well. It's a little crooked right now because I haven't lined it up properly. But that's pretty much ready to get tightened down. I'll go ahead and put that O2 sensor and the coil packs back on, and I should be able to turn it on and let it rip a little bit. The bottom side, you can see that defouler right there. I have the O2 sensor already connected in there. It connects up here, right here, but I still have to run the wiring this way. You can see it's pretty straightforward, just as easy as installing, I guess, a stock cat. All the bolts line up. There's a bracket on this side of it right here, as you can see, and it lines up perfectly. All I had to do was loosen up the top of the bracket before I tightened up those top bolts on the head. Sorry, I'm upside down, so You can tell they're still loose. Before I tighten those up, loosen this 14 right here on top, and I was able to fit the bracket perfect, no issues. I just have this mock mounted, I guess. I'm still going to put NICs on these that RV6 provided, as well as, if you can see this back one, it's probably the most difficult O2 sensor to get to. I had to, if you see that bracket right there, you can see it's a little chewed up. I had to pinch it, move it out of the way in order for me to get my hand in there to be able to turn it the opposite way and then turn it the correct way to tighten it counterclockwise and then clockwise in order for me to install it. But these as well, as you can see, they're not, I don't have any bolts on it yet. I do have the gasket on there, but they lined up perfectly, no issues. As I mentioned, probably the hardest part is this O2 sensor to get to for the install. So also, I think because mine's an all-wheel drive version, it doesn't have a bracket back here. As you can see, there's that hole. I believe if this was a 8th gen Accord or a 3.5 liter front wheel drive TL, it would have a bracket there, but it does not on this one. So here I am, pretty much done. The only thing left to do is I have to put this strut brace back on. I didn't mention this earlier as well. I did remove this bracket just to have more access through here. And then all the O2 sensors are pretty easy to install and plug up, besides this front bottom one. What I ended up having to do is disconnect the connector from the bottom. There's a gray clip. I detached it from the loom that it's attached to, and I ran it up, and if you can tell, I ran it through here. I shouldn't hopefully have any issues. I know this flexes right here, but I don't think this is a actual pinch. I don't think it'll pinch right here, so I'm hoping everything should be good. You can tell everything looks pretty stock. Everything mounts up pretty stock. I didn't have any issues at all installing it. Let me know if you guys have any comments, concerns, questions of if you guys have any issues installing yours. Just let me know. I'll try to help you through it.